Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to make Creole Red Jambalaya, one of my favorite dishes. So just to start off, I love Tony Cacheret's Creole seasoning, but it has so much salt. So instead, let's make our own with a lot more flavor and a lot less salt. Get yourself an airtight jar, and we're going to just go ahead and put some spices together here. You can use this stuff on all sorts of things. Start off by using 2 tablespoons of smoked paprika. That smoky flavor adds a real nice depth. Then we're going to add 1 tablespoon of kosher salt. If you're on a salt restricted diet, go ahead and cut it down to 1/2 tablespoon. Because what we're really aiming for is just the flavor. Let's add 2 tablespoons of garlic powder or granulated garlic powder. 1 teaspoon of black pepper. And for a little bit of extra flavor, let's add 1 teaspoon of white pepper. Now we're going to add 1 tablespoon of onion powder. And then 1 tablespoon of cayenne powder. If you like it more spicy, go ahead and add more. But if you like it less spicy, I would suggest using just a 1/2 tablespoon. So let's give those spices a good mix here. And then we're just going to check to make sure that it's all nice and mixed well together. And there you go, perfect Creole Cajun spices. Now to make the Trinity of Creole Cajun cooking. Start off by dicing up 3 stalks of celery. That should yield you about a cup of celery once it's diced up. And then just set that aside. Next, we're going to move on to 2 bell peppers of any color that will do. I went with red bell peppers because it really accentuates the red color of the dish. Once you're done chopping, you should have about a cup or just a little bit over a cup's worth of bell pepper. So now we're going to go ahead and move on to the onion. Dice up 1 medium white onion. Make sure to pull that outer skin of the onion because that is the toughest portion of the onion. Once you get that all diced up, we're just going to go ahead and add it to the rest of the Trinity. Once the Trinity is all done, we're just going to set that aside for now. Okay, so 1 pound of andouille sausage. We're going to just cut those into small bite-sized pieces. I'm using a diagonal cut on the sausage to give more surface area for the jambalaya. If you don't have andouille sausage, any other smoked sausage should do. There you go. Now 1 pound of chicken breast or chicken thighs. You're going to cut that into bite-sized pieces. I only had chicken breasts on hand. Chicken thighs are much better in my opinion because they're much more juicier. So we're going to add 1 teaspoon of the homemade Creole seasoning to the chicken. And we're just going to coat it well and set that aside for now and move on to the next step. So now we're going to take 1 pound of jumbo shrimp, pre-cooked or raw. I've left the recipe the same no matter which way you go. We're going to add 1 teaspoon of the Creole seasoning, mix well, and then store it back in the refrigerator because it is seafood. Okay, in a large Dutch oven or similarly high-walled pot, on medium-high heat, we're going to heat up 1 tablespoon of olive oil so we can brown the andouille sausage. Once you got the sausage nice and brown, just go ahead and remove it from the pot and set that aside for now. So now we're going to take the chicken and give it a quick cook. We're doing this just to help speed up the recipe. You could put the chicken in raw, but it would take longer to cook. So just give the chicken a quick cook and just remove it from the pot. Now we're going to add 1 tablespoon of olive oil and we're going to saute our Holy Trinity. All those little brown bits that you saw on the bottom of the pan, once the Trinity starts to steam, it'll remove all those little brown bits and add that to the flavor. So about after 2 minutes of cooking, we're going to add 3 cloves of garlic, either minced or pureed. And then we're just going to stir that into the pot. Once the onions are done and nice and clear, and most of the vegetables are soft, we're going to add 6 ounces of tomato paste and stir that in. What we're doing now is we're building the base for the jambalaya. We're going to add in 14 ounces of crushed tomatoes and stir that in as well. Add in 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. I don't think I'll ever be able to say that one right. So now we're going to take 1 bay leaf and a spice mixture that I have in the comments below. This is the point you'll be adding that to the pot and just giving it a nice stir. Now take 2 tablespoons of those Creole spices that you made and add that as well. Go ahead and give that a mix before we go on to the next step. Part of the recipe calls for chicken stock, and you've made 4 cups of it. So we're going to add half the chicken stock now to loosen up the tomato sauce. But let's not forget to add 2 teaspoons of Louisiana hot sauce. What jambalaya wouldn't be without Louisiana hot sauce? So let's turn up the heat, bring it to a low boil. Now what we're going to do once it boils is add in the chicken and the sausage. Once you got that mixed in, let's go ahead and add in the 2 cups of rice and stir that in as well. This is a rice dish after all. Okay, let's add in the remainder of the chicken stock. You should have about 2 cups left over. And this is to basically help get the rice nice and soft. Bring it up to a boil first uncovered. And once it starts to boil, lower it to a simmer and cover it for 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, we're going to go ahead and put in the shrimp. If the shrimp was raw, the last 10 minutes of it cooked will basically finish that off. Now I'm using pre-cooked, but it doesn't really matter. As you can see, it's already starting to thicken up. Okay, let's plate it up. Give yourself a nice hefty portion of that Creole jambalaya. Garnish with some green onions and make sure there's some Louisiana hot sauce on the side. There you go. Enjoy. So until next time, I'll see you in the kitchen.